good. Very good.
Pak Jenderal, ya, silakan. Mungkin satu sini Pak, satu. Pak Sarif salam nggak apa-apa sini.
Oke.
Gimana Pak Jenderal? Faksi-faksi di luar itu masih banyak ya.
Iya, memang sudah 40 tahun jadi kocar-kacir karuan itu.
Iya. Pak, saya kira cukup ya, mungkin Pak Wisnu mungkin bisa.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. I would like to welcome His Excellency Mayor Jenderal Dr. Arif Rahman, Ambassador of Republic Indonesia in Afghanistan, and His Excellency Faizullah Zaki Ibrahim, Ambassador of Republic Afghanistan in Indonesia. Welcome to our university, and also welcome to the Dr. Luthfi, Vice Rector of University Indonesia, Dr. Toto,
Yes, Pak.
and Dr. Ahmad Syafiq, and Pak Eko, and everyone. It's very honored to meet you all in our university. Okay, maybe directly. Pak Luthfi dulu ya Pak yang memberikan. Okay, Dr. Luthfi, our Vice Rector of University Indonesia, will deliver the welcome remark to our guests.
His Excellency Ambassador of Afghanistan, Mr. Faizullah Zaki, and His Excellency of Indonesian Ambassador to Afghanistan, Dr. Arif Rahman. This Excellency is our friend, Kusturian. Kusturian, ya. Masya Allah. We warmly welcome to the presence of His Excellency in Indonesia. This distance between Indonesia and Afghanistan is indeed far, but Afghanistan has always been in the hearts of Indonesian people. In the last 5 years, there has been good communication between the Indonesian government and the Afghan government. And in 2018, the President of Afghanistan visited Indonesia. Then in 2019, President Jokowi returned to a visit to Afghanistan. This shows the close relationship between the two countries. Of course, Indonesia always hopes that peace in Afghanistan will always be maintained, because stability and an important foundation of development. Finally, representing the University of Indonesia as one of the best university in Indonesia and the ASEAN region, with the experience we have, we are ready to help Afghanistan provide assistance to rebuild Afghanistan to achieve a vision for the future. Our rector apologized to not being able to attend because there is an event that was previously scheduled. He gives warm greeting for us. Thank you for all, and I come back to Prof. Wisnu.
Thank you, Dr. Luthfi, our Vice Rector of University of Indonesia. And the next, maybe delivery script from
biar saya mengantar dulu.
Pak Dubes Afganistan untuk Indonesia, Dr. Mayor Jenderal Arif, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang saya hormati Bapak Rektor yang mewakili Pak Profesor Muhammad Luthfi, PhD, PhD belakang. Gus Durian. Gus Durian. Yeah, His Excellency Mr. Faizul Azaki. Very nice to see you in the morning this morning. Tentunya pertama-tama kita panjatkan puji dan syukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Pagi ini kita dipertemukan ya oleh Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Karena cinta beliau kepada kita ini, terkhusus UI ini dan kami yang ada di Afganistan atau Duta Besar Afganistan yang ada di Jakarta. Alhamdulillah, saya tadi malam sampai di rumah kira-kira jam 1-an, Pak. Di airport saya sudah telepon sahabat saya ini.
Itu datang dari mana?
Dari Kampus, di Afganistan.
Langsung ya?
Langsung. Karena saya mencoba, sebenarnya mundur terus Pak, tanggal 27, tanggal 3, tanggal 7, tanggal 9 sampai sekarang baru bisa. Makanya I'm so happy when I call to give message to the Excellency. Excellency menyambut baik dan bisa bersama-sama kita bertemu di sini. Because your kindness, my brother Jackie. Ya, kita memang seperti itu. Kami di Kabul juga. When I was in Kabul, always sometimes very short message. We have to see and we see.
Accidentally.
Masya Allah. Bapak sekalian, saya sekali lagi bahagia sekali selain ada di Indonesia, di Jakarta, tentunya berjumpa dengan bapak-bapak sekalian, profesor dan teman-teman. Jadi kami ini dengan profesor ini bukan GU ya, GT ya Pak. GT. Ya, sudah sering jumpa dan bahkan saya diundang waktu profesor dilantik. Satu kebahagiaan, satu tantangan buat saya sendiri nih.
Katanya juga berkawan baik dengan ayah.
Profesor. Jadi beliau itu ya anak kolong istilahnya, keluarga kolong gitu ya Pak. Jadi Bapak sekalian, kenapa saya begitu bahagia dan kemudian bisa mengajak Pak Duta ini? Karena sejak 29 Januari itu sudah diadakan perundingan Amerika dengan Afganistan dan kemudian menunggu bagaimana Amerika dengan Taliban, nah tinggal menunggu Taliban dengan pemerintah yang alhamdulillah kemarin tanggal 12 di Doha terlaksana. Ini sedang sidang, suasananya alhamdulillah positif Pak. Jadi mereka ada niat yang sungguh-sungguh untuk kali ini harus sukses gitu. That's right, brother. The atmosphere of the meeting very good, positive, Insya Allah. Semoga tidak ada kendala lagi, bos sekalian. Karena nanti itu mudah-mudahan langsung dengan apa yang disebut gencatan senjata. Artinya pasti ketegangan atau
jauh berkurang ya eskalasinya.
Insya Allah berkurang. Tapi ya kalau memang dalam suasana seperti ini masih saja dia menunjukkan eksistensinya ya. Nah, menjelang we welcome the peace process. We have to do something with His Excellency. Kerjasama dengan Kabul University juga di sana Pak. Di sana juga ada 30-an ribu di Universitas Kabul yang terkenal itu sejak dulu kala. Mudah-mudahan dengan terobosan UI ke sana ini Pak, Bapak boleh kemana saja kan Prof?
Boleh.
Tetapi
asal berani aja.
Tetapi ke Afganistan belum tentu bisa gitu loh. Jadi ini memang peluang jadinya ya. Ya udah. Jadi lakukan uni ke uni ini, universitas ke universitas. Dan kredit poinnya tinggi Pak. Wah, ya kalau ya Universitas Indonesia sih nggak perlu dinaikkan lagi, tetapi dengan mempelopori misalnya kunjungan ke sana atau nanti kita buat kunjungan di sana ke sini, very good ya. As soon as possible, Brother Zaki, this is important. This is the bone of friendship. And if not, then we can use virtual, control through virtual. Now, make it more easier than coming. But coming is also important. But inshallah, Corona and everything will be stopped very soon.
Inshallah.
Jadi saya datang ke sini betul-betul ingin kita harus membuka karena ini sangat penting buat Indonesia, penciptaan Indonesia di internasional. Dan kalau Bapak datang ke sana, seperti datangnya Pak Jokowi di Kabul. Untuk gaungnya Pak seluruh dunia. Jadi Bapak nanti kalau ada delegasi dari Universitas Indonesia ke Kabul, insya Allah semuanya aman Pak, insya Allah. Semuanya normal. Hanya kan kali-kali di mana di sini juga masih sering terjadi.
Tapi mungkin sedikit peran apa yang dicatat oleh Afghanistan, Indonesia mempunyai kontribusi dalam perdamaian ini atau apa?
Iya. Waduh, memang harus cerita sedikit ya Pak.
Oh, kan biarin dulu.
Tidak apa-apa, ini buat poin. Jadi saya sebenarnya kalau ada mahasiswa baru atau apa, saya pingin juga ini bisa bicara dengan mahasiswa. Jadi ada teori yang mengatakan kalau mau menguasai dunia, kuasailah Asia. Karena Asia itu jumlahnya, luasnya, kayanya segala macam. Kalau mau menguasai Asia tentunya Asia Tengah. Where Afghanistan is there, the center of strategic point. Maka itu jadi perebutan kepentingan sejak sedikitnya 5.000 tahun yang lalu. Romawi di sana, Cina, Persia, Uni Soviet, Inggris 3 kali boleh datang tapi segera pergi. Jadi itu Indonesia melihat keadaan yang tidak selesai karena dilakukan pendekatan melalui militer atau hard power, maka Indonesia mengambil perhatian untuk melakukan soft power. Sejak 10 tahun yang lalu dengan pertukaran ulama dengan ulama. Inilah yang kemudian sedikitnya 6.000 ulama di Afghanistan dan ada kira-kira 22 provinsi yang sudah ada Nahdlatul Ulama Afghanistan. Cabang. Iya, cabangnya ya. Nah itu membangun apa yang namanya peace building. Peace building berkaitan dengan membangun kepercayaan di dua pihak. Dan itulah yang kemudian didasari dengan trilateral ulama di Bogor, Pak. Trilateral ulama di Bogor setelah 1 bulan menghasilkan ceasefire untuk yang pertama kali. Kata Wakil Presiden, apalagi Presiden Pak Ashraf Ghani kemana-mana selalu bicara Indonesia. Ini katanya new chapter, ya. Awal dari perdamaian itu mungkin kita harus ke Bogor dulu. Nah akhirnya tahap sana Pak, berubah dari hard power menuju ke soft power. Ya, through ulama, ya. Through heart to heart, face to face, ya. Whenever we use military, never finish. Selalu akan terus bersaing. Itu intinya, Pak. Pak Warek, jadi mudah-mudahan ini juga ya peran kita, pencitraan kita ada di dunia karena ini tanggung jawab. Kita nggak perlu dipanggil karena kita sudah terpanggil karena konstitusi kita. Nah itulah yang kita tidak boleh abaikan. Di mana saja ada konflik, di situ kita harus berbuat sesuatu.
Saya ingat betul menjadi itu dalam acara internasional para ulama sedunia itu. Kan dari Afghanistan datang gitu. Nah, saya moderator waktu itu.
Oh iya.
Di Borobudur ya.
Di Borobudur. Waktu itu tahun
berapa dia?
2012-13 tuh.
Ya, sebelumnya saya kira.
Sebelumnya ya?
Iya, atau 2012 ya. Enggak lupa.
Iya, sekitar itu Pak. Karena itu dia mulainya. Delegasi Nahdlatul Ulama ke sana. Bahkan setelah Nahdlatul Ulama ke sana ada Korea 22 di hijack Pak. Taliban bilang kalau bukan Indonesia nggak saya kasih. Itu terjadi.
Artinya begitu besar kepercayaannya pada Indonesia sekarang.
Ya, saya rasa begitu Pak. Dan itu yang ngambil sana ya orang yang Nahdlatul Ulama, karena yang kenal dia kan. Jadi betul-betul kita menjadi. Dan kemudian kita terus seperti ini Pak. Gitu Pak.
Baik.
Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Arif. Now, next, Excellency Ambassador of Afghanistan to Indonesia, Mr. Faisal Zaki Ibrahim. Please welcome.
Rahim, very Honorable Dr. Muhammad Luthfi, Vice Rector of the Indonesian University, Excellency, dear brother Dr. Arif Rahman, Ambassador of Republic of Indonesia in Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, dear colleagues, very good morning, selamat pagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, I'm ashamed that I cannot speak in Bahasa. Almost 1 year I'm here, but I cannot speak in Bahasa. But I almost understood whatever friends spoke so far. And indeed, if I didn't know a single word of what Dr. Arif Rahman said, nobody should doubt that we are on the same page and we would say the same things. Why? As ambassadors to two countries and representing two presidents, we follow the same cause. Our source of insight and our source of obligation and mandate is the same. This is the agreements reached at a high-level state visits of the two presidents to each other's capitals. As was mentioned, Dr. Ashraf Ghani's official state visit to Indonesia and His Excellency Joko Widodo's official visit to Afghanistan. So this is the source of inspiration, and this is the source of definition of main orientations of our job. Indeed, if I may use the analogy, we both push the same cart. So now the friendship between the two countries has now a very rich history. It's entering its 67th year since the establishment of the diplomatic relations. And Afghanistan was one of the first to establish diplomatic relations. And this friendship has emerged successful from the test and exam of the history. To cut this historical part short, this reciprocal visit of both Excellency presidents has elevated the level of relationships to a new level. And I must say that we are ambassadors and we are given definite years to serve. And what happens, good or bad, is somehow counted for somebody. So the credit for this high-level visits goes to Ambassador Rahman. To understand this, if you ask me, when was another presidential level visit? Before that, it was 57 years back when President Sukarno had visited Afghanistan. So after almost 6 decades, this happened during his tenure, His Excellency's tenure. So this should be admitted. And so now, after that visit, several agreements and MOUs have been signed based on the agreements reached. And now we are working in both ends, from here and from there in Afghanistan, our government, to reach to maximum results and the reached agreements. I shortly, briefly mention some parts of it. On the political side, yes, we are supporting each other in international organizations. Almost all issues of international policies, we have the same positioning, very well coordination, and also during the votings, we've been voting to each other's candidates in international organizations without question. So, but in the bilateral relationships these days, the peace process is taking a very important place. Why? Because there is no more important issue for Afghans to manage their lives. People and a nation which has been suffering now for 4 decades, over 4 decades from bloody conflict and imposed violence and war. So that is why, to bring order to your country, to bring order to your economy, to create social harmony, the first step is to bring peace. Without this, you cannot manage any other aspect of life as you may desire. That is why peace is #1 issue. As my colleague and brother Ambassador Rahman already mentioned, fortunately, these days, now that we are talking, a historical event is going on in Doha, very tough, very complicated, when both parties conflicting each other now for 20 years, fighting each other for 20 years, sit beside behind the table. It will never be easy. Nobody should expect this. But at the same time, the fact that they are sitting, and now it's almost a week, they are there, and there is no intention towards tension. No. Slowly the understanding is deepening. This is promising. This is promising. We hope that it brings the fruits and the results that our nations expect. Here, I want to emphasize that in Doha, I'll go back to Doha, the recent event, the 9th, it was the 12th September, yeah? Inauguration event for the peace talks. Among the first speakers, Her Excellency Retno Marsudi, the Foreign Minister of the Republic of Indonesia, also spoke on behalf of this great nation. We were so delighted, and I'm proud that her speech was recognized as one of the best. Very concrete, very to the point, very clear messages. Very clear messages about the need of supporting the principles of democracy, and human rights and women's rights, democratic rights, the achievements of 19 years. So, because when it is about peace or peace negotiations, it can't be negotiations for negotiations. It is very important to sit and talk. Without this, you will never reach anywhere. But once you have started talking, the question is where you want to go through these negotiations. Yeah? Surrender and take over, or accord, harmony, and agreement, and integration. So this is the thing. So that is why Her Excellency's speech was very highly received and appreciated. So, and I'm, as the ambassador of Afghanistan, Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, to Indonesia, I'm confident that Indonesia has been playing a very constructive role in the bringing the both sides closer to each other and encouraging the peace talks. And I'm sure that during the peace talks, as one of the members of the a group which is called the Group of Five, the Group of Five for support of Doha Agreement, it means that Indonesia, alongside with Germany, Norway, Qatar, and Uzbekistan, are known as the 5 countries in support of the Doha peace process, one of the major players now, that will further play a very productive role. And it is because of the very close, friendly relationships between the 2 countries and nations, and it is because the rich experience of Indonesia itself in overcoming the conflicts and maintaining harmony in this very diverse, super diverse society. So that is why I believe that this role will be even bigger. And then one more issue. Every peace process, as it is known by its name, is a process. It starts from negotiations, it succeeds with signing agreements, but it never ends there. Any agreement is worth something if it is implemented. So the implementation part is much, much longer. The peace talks could be shorter or longer, but the implementation period is longer and much more challenging by itself, because warring sides mentally are tuned in one mentality for so many years. Now coming and making a U-turn and making new choices will not be easy for either side. So implementation period. Here, it was emphasized, that's why it was frequently emphasized in the speeches of our President, Dr. Muhammad Ashraf Ghani, and also the head of, or the National Reconciliation Council of Afghanistan, which is assigned and mandated to lead the negotiation process in the peace talks by the president, by the government, and by the Loya Jirga. It is the Grand Assembly, Consultative Loya Jirga of Afghanistan, by the Assembly to lead the negotiations. They all emphasize on this matter. So here is another. But having said this, I want to commend this today's meeting, because it is not only about politics, it is also about trade and economic cooperation. Well, presidents have agreed on this. So, traditionally and classically, there has been an easy escape for this. Oh, 2 countries are so far located, so trade has no chance. Come on. This is not true, because Indonesia is already doing big trade with our neighbors on the south and the east, with Iran, with Pakistan, with everybody else. Yeah? How comes that trade is possible with our neighbors, but not with us, and the vice versa? Yeah? So it is possible. We have been trying hard with my colleague, Dr. Ambassador Rahman, to find ways. I will not, if you have specific questions, I will come, otherwise I will make it short. So, to explore these an open path and to raise the level of trade between the 2 countries in the years to come. The potential is there. The potential is there. We believe in it. So the other issue is cultural exchange. Afghanistan needs very, I must say that very deeply and strongly needs the wonderful, successful experiences of Republic of Indonesia, because in the different movements in Afghanistan, the flag has been the sacred religion of Islam. The Mujahideen said, we are fighting these Soviets because we are Muslims, and we fight against them. Or we are fighting against these Americans because we are Muslim, we want Islam. Okay. But the way that the Taliban have shown during their 5 years rule in mid-90s had no signs of democracy, to cut it short. If they come and see Indonesia, how can the largest Muslim nation also live through democratic norms and democratic principles and still be in the harmony. A very diverse country, culturally, religiously, linguistically, and very with an archipelago. So these, your cultural and the tolerance, and the tolerance which exists here. So there are so many for us and for the next generation of Afghans to learn from experiences of Indonesia. But the question is, how can this goal be reached? Yeah, how? Unfortunately, the levels of cultural exchanges have been so low. Well, again, thanks to the Indonesian government and also Ambassador Dr. Rahman. In the last year, since I have come, there is a dynamic exchange, but the number of all events do not exceed the number of fingers of my both hands. Yeah, capacity building, women's dialogue, ulama meeting, not more than 10. Yet, 8 out of 10 in Indonesia. How many in Afghanistan? So it's very low. No sport team, no musical, no art, so on and so forth. So I mean that there's huge potential in the field of cultural exchanges taken from the academic researchers, exchange of students, exchange of professors, to joint research works, to art, to sports. And yes, when I speak, when I'm saying these words, somebody may think that, oh, don't you know that we are living under pandemic conditions? I know, but we have to win 2 fights. One is we have to overcome the biologic pandemic. This is the virus, COVID-19. But worse than this, there is another pandemic. This is the mental pandemic. As if, because of the virus, we should do nothing. We should just wait. We should take guard and wait. This cannot be, because then we'll be thrown back in a way that we will never restore. That is why I believe that, so today's meeting is a very hard evidence of the fact that things can be done even during the pandemic. So that is why I believe that we should work non-stop. As the Afghan embassy, we are committed to this, and we're so glad that, again, I believe that this is the feeling we share. So thank you again, brother, for inviting me here. So yeah, so it's an honor. So I hope, to last not the least, I hope that this meeting, which gave me an opportunity of knowing new friends, finding new friends, will pave the ground for very active and dynamic cooperation between the University of Indonesia and University of Kabul, which is indeed the University of Afghanistan. It is the first and the strongest still university, and we are here to help and support any efforts. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, I'll be more.
Yeah, maybe
next is discussion, or
yeah, 1 or 2 questions from the floor.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, dear Excellency, Mr. Zaki, we are glad that the process of peace talk in Doha now is going to the positive points. So hope that maybe the process will take some of the conclusions that maybe the process to the peace of the Afghanistan will be soon released. Yeah? So part of the University of Indonesia, we have also some cooperation in exchange of the students for the some countries that takes the opportunities to take some cooperation and also opportunity to take study in University of Indonesia. So now maybe we have about 10 or 11 countries that exchange the student to University of Indonesia. So maybe the students coming from some of the Asian countries, African countries, and also some of the maybe some Eastern European countries take the master degree on and also for the exchange program. So I think there is one opportunities for the Afghan students also to take this opportunity to take some of the program, master program in University of Indonesia. So Eko also maybe as the managers for the education cooperations in University of Indonesia could explain also about the process of these cooperations. So maybe some others program in also cooperation bilateral between countries and also maybe there is opportunity also to take some advantage process cooperations in the field of the maybe some of the research that you mentioned about the cooperation now about the pandemic research, something like that. So as you know that the government of Indonesia now is in the process to take some cooperations with other some countries to take the progress in the vaccine for the COVID-19. And from this experience, we hope that maybe could take some positive point for the progress of this COVID.
Terima kasih, Pak Dr. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, His Excellency Pak Faizu and His Excellency Pak Rahman as well, and bapak-bapak semua yang ada di sini. Yeah, I want to explain the brief explanation about how the process of the partnership in terms of education, student exchange, and also joint degree between partner university in abroad and also our in UI. So basically, we are very committed and open to collaborate with others, with any university abroad, that there will be, that Pak Toto already said, maybe the dual degree as well, the student exchange. We have a program in outbound and also inbound for the faculty members, for the lecturer part as well. And right now the Ministry of Education and Culture also has a program Merdeka Belajar. So the student can take at least 44 credits. It means 1 year, and take in any campus or also any organization, take some internship or do some special project that will be count as a subject and equivalent for the credit earning for this process. I think it's like a good opportunity to make a collaboration in terms of education. But for the others, I also note that we has for the three dharma, so we are education and also research and community development or pengabdian masyarakat ya Pak. We can also make some research in terms of how to combat COVID or how we can deliver in learning method for higher education, especially in during COVID-19.
Pak Faizu and also Pak Rahman, I'm very touched with your presentations, with your speeches. It is a very important lesson in humanities, especially talk about peace, and as you mentioned, Pak Faizu, that your experience, your country's experience, your people's experience is very important lesson
for people in the world. And I believe this lesson should be disseminated. So I would like to request later on and to invite you to talk more about this. I realize the time is very short, yeah? But later your points of speech is very important as a lesson for humanities in the world. Yeah? And we would like to invite you sooner rather than later, if you don't mind, and if you would like to spare some time, I kindly request for your permission. Of diplomacies of the two countries, which is always together, in the name of peace and humanities, I think it is very important and should be known to a younger generation first. Because sometimes this younger generation, they have a very different experience. And we would like to spread the message about the importance of building peace. And I agree totally with you. It is not negotiation for negotiation. It is very important highlights. Sometimes negotiation only brings to another negotiation. And when we should implement this, and I think this is a very important topic. I thank you very much for your visits, Excellencies, Arif and Bapak Ibu, and hopefully there are so many other possibilities and opportunities to work together, both in terms of universities and in terms of countries, I believe. So again, I would like to thank you, and soon we would like to invite both of you to talk about how to build peace in Indonesia, in other countries, in the world. What is the main important lesson in this situation? Thank you very much.
Jadi ini omong-omong menjadi serius ya, ini sangat serius ini Pak. Pushing to the peace building ya. Talking about Afghanistan, not only for regional or other regional, but talking for Afghanistan is a 40 years conflict, so impact to the whole nation, even to the superpower also. Until now, we have to say, become more complex, and everybody should participate in this. For Indonesia, of course, we have a role for that one, but really, if the education sector, that academicity is there, by learning, by lesson learned, the explore of your learning, this we need that one, because this is really like a proxy war. You know? We need out of the box to think that one, because even superpower cannot solve this problem. Yeah. So I welcome the what you call that the conference, or as soon as possible. If I will be in that for 2 weeks. If you need very small group, maybe we can do that one. But if virtual, we can talk to all the students or lecturers. Small conference, but we can covering, connecting with what happened in Afghanistan, what we have to do this.
Okay.
Thank you, Pak.
Okay. If I may elaborate on our colleagues' comments. Thank you very much for your attention and for your remarks, and particularly my best thanks for the offers which were made graciously about the opportunities, from exchange of students to Merdeka Belajar, to a community development program. So we will consider all of these. I hope that we continue talking about these issues. If you already have experience of cooperating with different countries. I hear that with 11 countries. So if you have any typical form of MOU, which could be signed between University of Indonesia and University of Kabul, I can just upload it, and I can commit to facilitate its proceedings. To then it will be a binding document which could allow the legal basis for practical cooperation. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mas.
Terima kasih.
Oke. Thank you.
Ya, foto dulu Pak.
Ini.
Oke.
Mas tas ini.
May I request that these pictures be sent?
Oke.
WhatsApp.
Oke.
WhatsApp.
Ya.
WhatsApp number is there.
Ya. Nen, silakan dulu. This time.
Okay, thank you.
Ini we can put it just inside.
Here, yeah, good.
Oke.
Oke Pak.
Oke.
Oke.
Oke, thank you.
Pakul.
Okay, then may I request, I also had a small gift.
Oh ya.
Just for formalities.
Tadi.
Here is the gift about
Okay.
special hat and
Thank you.
saffron from
Thank you.
Afghanistan.
Thank you.
Ya.
Thank you.
Oke.
Thank you.
Dipakai kan Pak? Masya Allah.
Oh ini dia ya. Topi.
Pakul. Brother, you. This is
No.
Afghanistan.
Well, you are also not, you are closer to Kabul now.
Pak. Dia dicocok-cocokin baju ini.
Oh iya.
Masa.
Ya.
Bentar, begini Pak. Yes.
Oh,
Iya.
oke.
Dan Jaki, this is. Masya Allah. Iya.
Gak masuk.
Iya, nyantol gitu Pak. Iya.
Untuk sama Pak
Iya.
Marek
Oh, iya.
sama
Ini
kelihatan sebagai duta.
Ini barusan berjuang di Afghanistan membela negara Afghanistan.
Satu dua.
Mujahidin.
Oke. Silakan.
Ya, saya Arif Rahman yang sedang bertugas sebagai duta besar di Kabul di Afghanistan. Sungguh kebahagiaan saya bisa hadir di sini bertemu dengan Bapak Wakil Rektor dan beberapa profesor membicarakan bagaimana pentingnya hubungan pendidikan setelah peace process ini, pasca perdamaian ini. Mengenai Afghanistan, memang sejak 10 tahun yang lalu Indonesia ikut lebih dekat ya kaitannya dengan peace building, dan kita telah mengirimkan atau tukar-menukar ulama, tukar-menukar ahli-ahli untuk terus ikut di dalam bagaimana membangun perdamaian di Afghanistan. Banyak hal sebenarnya dari peace building itu melalui capacity building, baik parlemen to parlemen, kemudian universitas to universitas, pelajar to pelajar, madrasah to madrasah, wartawan dengan wartawan, ya, bisnis to businessman, ya. Hampir kita semua isi kapasitas itu karena supaya hubungan kita dengan Afghanistan lebih dekat, ya, lebih umum. Artinya semua pihak bisa ikut di dalam persahabatan ini.
Ya Pak, 1 2. Ya, ini apa gini Pak?
Bela negara. Salam bela negara.
Salam komando.
Salam bela negara. Salam bela negara. Ya.
Without.
Ya.
Okay. Hello everybody. Selamat pagi. I am Faizullah Zaki, Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan to Republic of Indonesia. Well, the Afghan nation is very hopeful that with the beginning of peace talks in Doha, which started on September 12th, a new path has opened, and we are hopeful that these negotiations will bring peace to Afghanistan, a country which has suffered from long period of conflict and bloodshed. We are grateful that the government of Republic of Indonesia, the President, Excellency President Joko Widodo, and the Excellency Foreign Minister Ratna Marsudi are committed to supporting the peace process in Afghanistan, and they are actively participating in the efforts of international community in encouraging both sides to talk and in helping the process to be successful. Thank you, Indonesia.
Ya, ini alhamdulillah sudah selesai pertemuan dengan Duta Besar RI di Afghanistan, Bapak Arif Rahman, Dr. Arif Rahman, dan juga Bapak Excellency Dubes Afganistan di Jakarta. Beliau sangat mention bahwa hubungan Indonesia dengan Afghanistan sangat luar biasa, dan bangsa Indonesia dan peran Indonesia itu sangat dihargai oleh pemerintah maupun rakyat Afghanistan yang sedang melakukan perdamaian khususnya dengan Taliban, dan kita harapkan bersama perjanjian ini akan membawa Afghanistan lebih baik lagi dan lebih tentram dan juga bisa membangun. Saya kira itu. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.